Hey, extremers. No, not so much. It doesn't matter. It is September 30th, 2019. It is the last day of September, and you know what that means. It is time to look at why I went broke in the month of September. This is one of my most popular segments, and I really can't figure out why. Is it because people live vicariously through my, stupid spending? I live vicariously through David Hasselhoff, so I kind of get that. But this is the segment where we're going to talk about everything that I purchased in the month of September. And did I practice hashtag restraint? Let's find out. Mr. X with the Extreme channel here. It is the last day of September, so we're going to talk about why I went broke in September. All the purchases that I made, and we're not just going to talk about statues. We will talk about hashtag restraint. I think that's going to be one of my new mottos. We have a lot of mottos going on with this show. We have That's What She Said. We have hashtag no pants review. We have hate me to my face. Which all those people that watch the video for 2 seconds and give me a thumbs down, we're talking to you, baby. But let's dive into why I went broke in the month of September. And some of these that I'm going to talk about first, I got back into comics. So we're going to talk about some of the comics I got back into. Some of these I may have purchased in August, and I can't recall if I talked about them at all. So they're actually right behind me. I don't know if you can see them in the camera or not. But I bought 4 omnibus. Omnibus, if you don't know what that is, because I didn't know until a couple years ago, it is a collection of comics in a sequential order, kind of a sequential order. So, for example, I bought Venom Volume 1. It has a lot of the solo Venom comics when he, and as well as a few other comics he appears in. It kind of tells a story. And traditionally, there's 40 to 50 comics in there, about, from what I understand and what I see. So it's a way, if you really want to just get down to brass tacks and read all about that individual character or characters. So I bought Venom Omnibus Volume 1, and I may have talked about that last month. And then here's some other ones that I bought as well. I bought X-Men Apocalypse because I've always wanted to know the story of the Age of Apocalypse, especially since I have some statues related to that. So that is one of them. I also got a great deal on eBay for World War Hulk. I've always been curious about King Hulk and how that ended up to be, which also ties into Planet Hulk. And then just a few hardback covers that I also purchased were Batman Damned and Batman Noel. This all kind of started when I read Old Man Logan because I'm getting a statue of that. I talked about that in a previous video. So those are some comic reasons that I went broke. Some other reasons why I went broke is I went nuts traveling. So took my family to Disney World, which is one of the most expensive places on earth. And we went to a Lego store, spent $300 or $400 there. We bought nonstop food. Thankfully, I had about $1,200 in Visa rewards that we were able to spend at Disney World, and we still had a little bit left over. But that's not a big one. That's probably not why you're watching. You don't want to know about that. I also booked a all-inclusive trip over Thanksgiving, 9-10-day all-inclusive trip, so we are going to talk more about that later. That is in November. October is tomorrow. So let's talk about statues that I purchased in the month of September. Now, as a reminder, not all of these are actually going to come in the month of September. In fact, I don't know if any of them are. We'll have to go through them one by one. But as usual, I wanted to practice hashtag restraint. Instead of buying 20 or 30 statues a month, a few months ago I kind of threw out the challenge, can we do an over-under? I'm going to stick to 6 or I'm going to stick to 8. And every single month I've failed. And sometimes I've failed miserably. So this month I didn't set a goal. I just said, John, why don't you go ahead and be conservative? So the first day of September rolled around and I couldn't resist. I love Magneto. I purchased this custom pre-order for a custom Magneto. Very excited. That's why he's holding Thor's hammer. But it's going to go with my huge Magneto display, and it's from a custom group that I've purchased quite a few from. But then I did really good. I lasted 5 whole days where I didn't purchase anything, but then one of my most anticipated pieces went up for pre-order. It is the Prime 1 1/3 scale metal Batman vs. Joker Dragon diorama. I could not resist this. It was so much money, but I didn't care. This is one of my most anticipated pieces out there, without a doubt. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on him. And then I did it good again. I made it 5 more days. So we're on a good schedule here. 5 more days, and then it was 9/11, never forget. And so, to kind of calm myself down, I purchased a custom spawn that sold out in like 60 seconds. It's a awesome looking piece. You've probably seen it in different groups here. Really excited about this. I'm not a huge spawn character or fan, but I have another custom spawn on order I talked about last month, I think. So I thought I was doing pretty good. 9/11, a third of the month is done. I've only purchased 3 pieces. Let me do some restraint. But then the next 2 days I just failed. So on 9/12, I purchased a Mumra statue. Custom Mumra. This is going to replace my Sideshow one. So I kind of justified I'll sell my Sideshow one to pay for this. This is a much better representation. Quarter scale, where Sideshow's a 5th scale. And then I thought I'm good. I'm going to stick to 5, one more this month. And then the next day rolled around and a PO went up for something that I wanted a while back, and I actually committed to it. And it was a custom Emperor statue. Quarter scale. This is just a render here, so I can't show any pictures. The sculpt hasn't even been done, but I went ahead and committed some money to this. And then the good news happened. I made it almost 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks, didn't buy a thing, and I got the itch. And the reason I got the itch is I posted a review for this INF Venom. I'd had it for a while, but I went ahead and posted the review, so I currently own that. And in my office, on one wall is Venoms, the other side is Hulks, while INF is coming out with the Hulk. So I purchased this guy right here. Excited. I think the Venom was done very well, and I heard from a few other buyers that this guy was done well too. Then another one I promised myself I wasn't going to buy, and then I tried to buy it from Prime 1, and thankfully their license isn't in the US. And then Todd at Spec Fiction made it available to us people in the US, so I purchased Prime 1's quarter scale Ryu statue. I already have Prototype Z, so I will switch it out. So again, kind of a justification. I will sell my old one because this just looks phenomenal. And then I was done for the month. Absolutely done. And guess what? I fell again and again. Custom Brown Wolverine from Alejandro, who made Phase 2, who made the Sabretooth I'm actually getting next week that my painter has. This guy went up for pre-order and I could not resist. It's a low ES. Super excited about this. He's going to pair awesome with my Sabretooth. I'm going to have to move things around in my display, but definitely excited about this guy. So then I fell again thanks to Stuart, the biggest Superman collector out there. A while back, I really wanted Infinity Studios Superman bust when it comes out, and I still kind of want it because I've purchased Infinity Studios Wonder Woman, this right here, and then Queen Studios Wonder Woman. So I needed a Henry Cavill to go with those, and this newer custom group was coming out with them, and they looked phenomenal, but I wanted to see some pieces in hand, so I actually talked to the commissioner, and he offered me, he had a few left, he offered me one, and I kind of ghosted him because I just wasn't sure. Then people started to get it in hand this past week, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. Here he is right here, very excited. It seems like it is crazy good reviews on this, and he's half the price of Infinity Studios, so I purchased him. He should actually be arriving in the month of October, so he will actually not be on my film tomorrow of Extreme Expos arriving in October because I already filmed that before I bought him, if that makes sense. So it'll be another one. So I plan to put them actually upstairs, which the wife doesn't know. Shh. Not because there's not room down here, there is, but it's a different theme. I only have evil horror busts down here. So there is another category within statues I want to talk about today. Is I want you guys to be so proud of me. We're going to talk about hashtag restraint. These are pieces that I really, really wanted, and I said no. And by the way, Ryu and the Superman bust that we just looked at, they were in this category, but they moved over. But the first one is ECC Pennywise Cinemaquette. I wanted the Prime 1 one, and I passed on it with hashtag restraint, but this one came up for PO, and I had it in my cart, but I just can't justify it. It doesn't go with anything in my collection. It's a third scale. I have no third scale horror pieces. So I also have Tweeterheads 1/5 coming in a couple months, so I was able to say no, even though this is going to be an amazing piece. The next one I was able to restrain myself from was because I'm getting a Guardians of the Galaxy collection. You guys saw I reviewed XM Star-Lord, I reviewed Custom Drax recently. I have XM Groot and Rocket coming in, so I need a Gamora. So I've been looking for Sideshow Gamora. Facebook friend of mine was selling it, but I was too late. And I set a price limit, and one went up on eBay. And my max bid is what it sold at to the other buyer. So Sideshow Gamora I missed out on. However, I recently found out a custom Gamora is coming out, and I've seen renders, and it looks much better. So I will hold off on that. Next one is a few weeks ago I did that mystery review of ARP Maestro versus Old Man Logan. That actually came available for me to buy. It is such an amazing piece. I think the seller just sold it because someone else posted it today. So I practiced hashtag restraint on that. I'm very proud of myself on that because it is an amazing piece and it would have looked really cool next to the original. So hashtag restraint on that guy. Then the last two, I was in Galaxy's Edge, in the new Galaxy's Edge in Disney World a week ago. And for the first time ever, I saw the Ray premium format from Sideshow. It was really, really good. I was extremely impressed. It looked amazing in person. So I almost instantly bought this, and then I thought, you know, with the new movie coming out, they're probably going to do a new one where she has a lightsaber. So I want to see what that looks like first, because not only will they possibly do a new one, but it may lower the value of the old one and I can get it even cheaper. Another one that I saw down there that was absolutely amazing, I had no idea it looked this good in person, is they had the life-size Vader bust. This looked great. Congrats to anyone who has this. Pictures do not do this justice at all. Looks 10 times better. It would go very well with my collection, but I've held off on it, at least for this month. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, because it'd go really well with all my villain busts. But that's why I went broke in the month of September. Overall, how many is that? I actually purchased 9 pieces, and one was only $300, less than $300, so that doesn't really count. So very proud of myself. Let's see if we can beat it in the month of October, and let's see if the hashtag restraint list can be longer than the actual purchase list. It's very possible, because I will probably need a lot of bail money when I head to New York Comic Con in 2 days. So that's all I got. However, I want to hear what you bought in the month of September. That's one of my favorite parts, is seeing what you guys bought in the comments. So please drop what comments you have. As always, every statue I have coming in, I will review. Stay tuned tomorrow, October 1st. We're going to drop the Extreme Arrivals. So what's coming in the month of October? We do have a new name. One of the viewers came up with an awesome new name. So you will hear that tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon. And then the following day, I will be going live at the airport before I head to NYCC. So take care, guys. Drop a comment. Let me know what you have coming. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.